How are you supposed to feel like you're not failing in life when you are 28, you have a college degree, you have a professional career, and you walk into Walmart to purchase 3 items and you had to walk out the door with one because you didn't have the money? How are you supposed to feel like you're doing a good job? How are you supposed to feel like you are succeeding? Because when I pulled up to Walmart today, I do what I do every time I need to go to the store, and I check my bank account because there's that little bit of money in there. Oh, after I pay the bills, after I pay rent and the car insurance and the car payment and get groceries and do gas and the Wi-Fi and every expense, because it's all on my shoulders. Every single month, it's all on my shoulders. Once it's all paid, there's like pennies left. And so every time I get to the store, I have to check my bank account to see how much money we're working with. And then I have to sit there and calculate as I go, what can I get and what can I not get? I want this item, so I'm gonna have to put this item back. And I'm 28 years old and I have a college degree and I'm doing that. And so God knows what the regular people are doing who didn't get the opportunity to go to college, because if I'm doing that, what is everyone else doing?
I'm going to be honest. Probably a lot of the people who didn't go to college, they're not straddled with student loan debt. I don't know if she's straddled with that debt or not, but a lot of people who didn't go to college and went into a trade are breathing a sigh of relief that they avoided the 50 50,000, 100,000 plus student loan bill. Let's put some reality into this young lady's life, okay? She says she's 28 years old. She says she has a college degree. A college degree does not mean your life is necessarily going to be financially easier. And as I was just discussing, it could actually be worse depending upon your load of student loan debt. She says she has Wi Fi. I'm assuming she has kids. She says all the bills are on her. I don't know if she's a single mom or not, but either way, all the bills on you. Guess what? So is it for a whole lot of people, including myself. Matter of fact, I'm doing an AC thing this week, and I have an unexpected $175 AC bill. Even though it's my regular AC maintenance, the goal is that they find things so my AC works at all times. I mean, we can all sit there and say, "Oh my God, the bill is all on me." Well, yeah, that's called adulting. Now then, let's talk about her feeling bad because she went in for three things and only walked out with one. Whose fault is that? Then she says, "But I didn't know what it was till I got there." Before you walk into that store, before you leave the house, you should know. If you need to, you should know what your spending limit is. And here's the kicker, folks. There's ways to shop now online. Yes, you can go to walmart.com and shop online. You don't have to pay for the delivery service and all that. In other words, there's ways to know before you ever walk into the store. So I think unfortunately what happens is people who are financially tight, not all, and you know darn well I've been there. Not all, okay? But a lot of people who are financially tight don't keep track of where the money's going. They just don't. So what winds up happening is they kind of, wing it. So she winds up at Walmart, and by her own words, she says, "I go to Walmart and then I check to see how much money I have." You're putting the cart before the horse. You need to actually do it in the reverse. Know what money you have if you can. I would even take it and just pick it up, and they can deliver it right to your car. And I believe that service is free. It's the Walmart home delivery that costs you money. That's what I have, is the home delivery, which comes to like 130 or so a year, maybe 110. Check your local area. But when people sit there and they act just so shocked that they have little money at the end of the month, join the rest of us. Okay. Little money at the end of the month. Now, am I in a better place today? Well, yes, I'm in a way better place today. Like I said, when he said this is the repair bill, it's like, okay, go ahead and do it. Does that mean I'm happy about it? No. Do I want to? No. But I have the means to. But it's taken years to get myself there. So a lot of these young people need to realize at 28 years old, yeah, you're going to be scrimping and saving. You're going to be eating ramen noodles. And depending upon how many kids you have, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying you did not hold yourself back financially a little bit or by a lot.
I needed to get 3 things today, and I got one item, and I put the other $10 I had left from my purchase into my gas tank to get me where I need to be this weekend. What are we doing?
Why do people keep asking that? What are we doing? How's everybody making it? No, not everybody's having a problem. I'm in the best financial shape I've ever been my entire freaking life. but the mountains I have climbed to get here.
And what's funny is the $25 in cash I actually had to spend today, thank God I earned it by selling some clothes the other day. That's $25 that got spent today.
Right. And that's what it's like for a lot of young people. It's a lot of hustling. It's a lot of extra hours, giving up your vacations, your free times. And some of you guys are out there going, I can't believe we have to work 6 days a week. Heck, you got people working 7 days a week.
So yeah, to get to the store and to open your bank account and see that it's overdrafted because your car insurance hit and took the $75 that you had to play around with, that was your little bit of money you had until you got another paycheck, and that money wasn't even yours to begin with. If you are a single person trying to survive in this economy, what are you doing?
I just told you, I spent years toiling, reorganized my working world, entered a career, made sure I stayed in it, tried, everything I could to learn about credit card debt to make sure I didn't repeat that. Got my $110,000 student loan forgiven. Again, making sure I stay in my career, build skills. It's called longevity. It's called grit. It's called stick-to-itiveness. And a lot of young people don't seem to have that grit, that stick-to-itiveness, that longevity. And so they complain at 28 as to why they don't have everything.
I'm not going to lie to you, I feel so bitter. I'm surrounded by people who go home to a loving family every day and to a loving partner, and they have that person not only to lean on for emotional support, but for financial support. I want to be in a relationship not only for the emotional side of it, I want to be in it for the financial side of it too.
My job has a shift bid every time the season change. I always pick the latest shift because I got to pick up my son from school. I even asked them if they had a later shift than what I already do to give me extra time after I pick him up just to get everything situated with my kids. But they told me I couldn't do a later shift. My stats are good enough for me to get the shift that I want. I picked the shift that I want. Tell me why they didn't switch my schedule and got me doing different shifts on different days, and a couple days is earlier than what I can do.
They switched your schedule because they needed you at different times and not necessarily the times you said you could work. That's why they switched it.
I emailed them, I can't do this. I got to pick up my son for school. That's the reason why I picked the shift that I picked. They're going to say business needs. So business needs trumps my outside life, and I'm just supposed to figure everything out.
Congratulations. Welcome to adulthood. Hold on. You have just figured out what it takes to make money, or at least one of the avenues. You know what you could do is say, hey, you know what? I'm out of here. I ain't taking it. I'm quitting my job and I'm going to become a TikTok creator, and I need y'all to follow me, like my page, and tell your friends.
That's messed up, and that's why these corporations, these things is happening the way that they happening, because these jobs think that they can just keep on doing us any kind of way, and our life don't matter. Our life don't matter as long as we can produce for them.
You have just figured out the American capitalistic way. And how old are you? How old are you, young lady? She has a very distinct way of speaking. So I know she's been on this channel before complaining about something. You know, you can take the attitude if you want of these corporations just, it's all about our labor and they're not, ever going to pay us our wage, yada, yada. You can choose to do that. And you can do that every single day. And I guarantee you will be miserable. Or you can choose to look at it differently and say, hey, you know what? I got myself a job, and here's what I'm going to do to get myself ahead using the job that I'm currently in. Hold on, let me straighten the camera. Whether or not I'm staying at this job or whether and moving up, or whether or not I'm going to go to another job, I'm going to take the opportunity I have right now, and I'm going to be very stealth-like, and I'm going to figure out a way to use it. Instead, these ding dongs on TikTok don't do that. They go, hey, you know what? I'm miserable with my job. So I'm going to come on. I'm tell the entire world how much I think this job sucks, how much I think my employer sucks, my coworkers, my boss sucks, and how I'm just working for the man. Instead, you guys do that. You give us all your cards. All right. So we know what you're thinking. And then we don't want to hire you. And then what does that do? That keeps you again in the lower wage jobs. I'm gonna give you a hint also. The better educated, the more knowledgeable, the higher skilled you are, the better the job becomes. It really, really does. But you see what wine, and I'm not saying it's perfect out there. No job is perfect out there, but I'd rather be 59 years old in a profession than 59 years old, waitressing at Crab Shack, at 2 a.m. in the morning to the drunk people that are now leaving because it's closing hour. That's just me. That's just me. So it's a lot of your getting ahead is going to have to deal with your attitude. Take what you have and figure out how to make it work. Like I said, either staying where you're at or figure out how to make it work so that you can go to the next level. Not just this stupid side lateral movement. You want the next level for most of us.
They don't care what they pay us when they out here getting millions and we out here struggling. And I don't have nobody else who can pick up my son. But you telling me,
whose fault is that?
I basically need to figure it out because big business needs to come first.
Let me tell you something. When I got divorced in 2013, not that my income is anything to brag about, but just to show, okay? When I got divorced in 2013, I was making a gross of $50,000 a year, $50,000. I now make in the mid 80s. But did I sit there and complain about a school teacher salary? Did I sit and go, I just can't believe it. They want a school teachers to work to do all this and this all we could pay. I said, you know what? I'm telling you, I put my own advice to heart. I said, you know what? I'm a teacher and I love my profession. I love my job, but the pay isn't as good as I'd like. So you know what? What can I do? What talent and skill do I have that I could bring in additional money while still maintaining my teaching job? And lo and behold, here I am today on this fine channel with you fine people. And I'm doing better financially than I ever have. And the channel continues to grow. There are a lot of myths, and this isn't for this video. There are a lot of myths about, what you're looking for a viral video. You don't need no viral video. Okay. You don't need that. What you need is what every Gen Xer knows. You need longevity. You need endurance. You need stick-to-itiveness. That's what you need.